Schematic music.
Go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Today, we have the one, the only separation between Jordan highs and Jordan mids. The one and only Jae Skeese, drum work, big drum work. How you doing today, Jay?
Man, I'm feeling amazing, man. How you feel?
I'm chilling. I got the freshies on that came in the mail.
I see you, man.
Today.
Jordan 5 crafts.
I was mad too. I was like, yo, these joints better come in before this, because they were like, oh, Jay said tomorrow. I was like, yo, the shoes come in tomorrow. Them shits better come in before this episode, because I got them just for this episode.
100%. That's what it is.
I was like, yo, I need these.
Yeah, those
you literally, crazy. Yo, the album, Abolished Uncertainties, probably #1 album out right now, period. That shit's too fire.
Thank you, bro.
Like we were saying, I can't wait for the vinyl to get here.
Yeah, 100%.
So I can put that joint on the record player, listen to it one time, and frame it.
Yeah, man. Nah, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Like, you know, I think we talked about it, you know, briefly last time, and it wasn't out yet, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I was really excited to put it out, and you know, it's a long time in the making. You know what I'm saying? So to finally put out the album and to see the reactions of a lot of people, man, to the album. And, you know, whenever I'm on Twitter, bro, I'm looking around, you know, I'm searching my name and I'm seeing, you know, people calling it album of the year, people still talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, listening to their favorite songs.
Big names calling it album of the year,
bro.
too.
It's crazy, man. It's dope to kind of see, because it's like, it's almost like that moment where it's like, all right, maybe I wasn't crazy all this time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like that affirmation almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like I really put together something beautiful that people appreciate.
Yeah, for sure.
It's dope.
And it was like seeing you on, then right after the album drops, you go to Ebro, Rosenberg, you're on Hot 97, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, it's the takeoff of all takeoffs. Was the championship album right here. Like, that was like, they were like, everyone else now is like, at first they were like I read comments and people were like talking about Drumwork Records, and they would only name like, oh, I seen someone say I only know Lucky, but your name was in there. And now it's like on Reddit and on Twitter, Instagram, the question is, this is what we had in the first episode, is like, is Jae Skeese the future of hip hop? And people are literally asking that, because it's like the way that I don't even know, the curation of that album was just phenomenal. And then to come after that, you drop the album with Conway.
Well, that came.
Oh, you came before.
Yeah, it was before.
And
then
it
was literally like right before. Like, I think we dropped it like 2 weeks before. Pain Provided Profit. Shout out to Conway. You know, we came together. We made that joint. You know what I mean? Like last year, we sat down. It took, yo, Chad, how long? It was like 24 hours. It was no more than 48 hours. We made that joint in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And made a decision to just kind of put it out, man. And it kind of just gave me the runway to get people ready for my joint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For my album. And man, it was all set up perfectly. And like you were saying before, you know, just the whole press run that I had, you know, I got to give a lot of the credit to Chad and my man Matt Conway. You know what I'm saying? They set up a lot of my press and just had me in a lot of the right spaces that I would have never probably been in, you know what I'm saying, if it wasn't for them, especially Chad. Like, he put in like overtime hours, like hitting everybody up. Yo, Skeese is going to be here. Like, can we get him up there? Can we get him up there? So, you know, they made sure that I was in front of the cameras and in the spaces that I really need to be in, so that, you know, people could, you know about the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it out there.
Man, what what's the most like? What's the best part about it for you? Like, what was the most humbling moment during the press run for you?
I mean, the illest moments, it's just sitting there with people that I've, either watched on YouTube or, heard on the radio, the Rosenbergs and, the Ebro, like Ebro dropping it, dropping Bonneville on his show on Apple Music and, seeing my video on BET Jams and those type of things. Like really just seeing all these different platforms, all these different people really acknowledge what I've been trying to do since I was like 13. You know what I mean? Finally dropping this album. And this album, like Abolished Uncertainties, is very special to me because it's literally my story. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the way I grew up. I would say 12 out of the 13 songs that it all really pertains to my story. And then the one song that doesn't, it's directly influenced by a couple of my favorite artists that I grew up on. So in a way, it's still my story. I'm just telling it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like telling you how I even got to this point to even make this record. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's directly influenced by some of my favorites. So, those are like just, some of the moments, like all the moments combined was like my favorite moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just putting the album out, the night the album came out, being in the studio with Conway and some of the things that he said to me, telling me how proud he was of me to, stick it out. Cause you got to think like, I've been signed since early 2021 and it's 2023. So the album is just coming out. So in between that whole time, I was figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like working on the album, I put out, like 3 or 4 other projects. I did countless features. I was doing freestyles. I was, just doing everything I could possibly do. I'm doing shows. I'm traveling. I'm doing everything I can possibly do to get ready for that moment. So, to know that, he saw that, you know what I'm saying? And I did it my way. And that was like his big point. He was like, it would have been real easy for you to get next to me and start doing what I do and rap like I do and talk about the things I talk about, but you did it your way. You know what I'm saying? You talked about your life. You talked about the things that you saw. Yep. And, it's a real story. So that meant a lot as well. That was actually one of my favorite moments for sure. Like getting that feedback from Conway and just, him really letting me know that he appreciated the way that I did it.
Facts. Now, talking about stories, probably the best story told song I've heard in my life was your song Burner Phone. Like Burner Phone, like, and I keep hearing it from everyone else too, is like they keep talking about it. Like Burner Phone, that shit was phenomenal. Like, how did you even come up with the concept for that? Like,
so again, like going back to what I was saying, like, that is directly influenced by Nas, I Gave You Power. And also Lupe Fiasco, he had the joint, what was it called? Twilight Zone. Yeah. And so in both of those songs, they basically personified, Nas with the gun. And then Lupe did everything in the hood from 40-ounce bottles to cell phones to everything, what I'm saying? Or 40-ounce beers and, stuff like that. So I wanted to, because I considered him, like just top tier lyricists. Yeah. And Burner Phone was like the second song that I made in the first session that I had with Conway. Like when we were in New York City, this was at the end of 2020. It was like October 2020. And so this was my first time really being around him. So I wanted to show him like, that I needed to be a part of the situation that he was starting. And, I just really wanted to just make a great impression. And so when I was on my way down to New York and I was driving, I was kind of like just thinking about what was going to be like one of those. I wanted to make a record where I was going to make like a statement, you know what I'm saying? Or like I wanted it to be a moment. And I had the idea for the record in my head already because I was going between 2 different ideas. It was either going to be a Burner Phone or it was going to be like, everybody got like their favorite black hoodie. It was going to be one or the other. And I said the Burner Phone would be a little more impactful because it needed to be something that I knew people, you know, in the hood, like they identify with it. They know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I had one of those before. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the idea behind it, man. And then once I had the idea for it, all it really was just rhyming the words, putting the words together. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to do it in a way where I drew that picture in your head. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where when you hear it, because not everybody gets it on the first listen or the second listen, but they know I'm doing something, but they just don't know what it is exactly. But it's drawing that picture in your head to where it's like, okay, I need to run this back. And by the end of the song, you know, you get that clear picture of what it is that I'm talking about. And it's just, you know, it's an experience. Like listening to that record, I think is an experience.
Yeah. So for me, like when I listened to your album, like it was like I had to take like the time out to listen to it. So I needed that whole hour and a half, 2 hours of time, like to sit there and actually listen to it.
Yeah.
And the first time I'm listening to it and I'm just smoking and it's just like I'm just like sitting there and I could see the whole thing of the phone in the pocket talking, like speaking to itself. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like this shit is fucking raw. Like I was like, yo, this is a lyrical lemonade needed fucking video right here.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Like that animated fucking type video. Like that shit.
Chad, what did I say when we were talking about this video? I was like, yo, this video has to be animated.
Yo, you're gonna have to hit up fucking Lil Dicky. Lil Dicky got them animated videos on deck.
Yeah, man.
But you don't want to spend what he spent on them shits. That shit is wild. What is that Earth Day video one he got?
I haven't seen it.
He got a video for Earth Day and that shit was wild.
Yeah. I know Lil Dicky, man, he's an amazing lyricist, man. So I know he probably got some very creative videos to go along with those words he be kicking. So
yo, he's a comedian at that too. It's like, yo, I love this shit.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
So last time you said you were here, you said you wanted the album Abolished Uncertainties to feel relatable and allow people to learn a story. Did you feel you accomplished that?
Yeah, I think so. I've had so many people, you know, hit me up, you know, and just let them know, like, or let me know, like, yo, you know, stepping away from the album, now that I listened to it and I had a chance to digest it, you know, I feel like I know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just Jae Skeese, like they feel like they know Jared Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I intended it, man. Like, I didn't really hold too much back. It was a lot of stuff, you know, like I was saying before, that I put on the album, experiences and stories that I've never even told, you know, some of my closest friends. It was like I left it all out there just because, again, like I wanted people to feel like when they walked away from the album, it was like super relatable to the point where it's like, yo, like I might not have went exactly through that same thing, but I've been through something similar.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear, you know, someone talk about their experiences and things like that, I know for me, it helps me feel like, okay, if I've been through something and then I'm listening to somebody talk about something they've been through, it makes me feel like I can make it through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It gives you it gives you a sense of hope. Or maybe it'll help you find, like, however this person got through what they got through, it'll help me, you know what I'm saying, figure out my way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was like my whole thing with that. I wanted it to just be relatable, man, and just tell my story. And then too, I felt like it was important for me to do that because, you know, obviously, you know, shout out to Griselda, like I always say, man, they painted their picture of what it is to be from Buffalo and grow up on the east side of Buffalo. Yeah. And I wanted to give a different perspective because I didn't live the same type of lives that they lived. Right. So, you know, my story is just as important as theirs. Yeah. So I wanted to give that other perspective so that people didn't feel like, you know, like I always say, like, you know, when I think about Chicago, you got Common, you got Kanye West, you got Lil Durk, you got, you know, everybody that's out there doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? 600 Breezy, all these different artists, Lupe Fiasco, you know, and they all give a different perspective of what it is to be from Chicago. Right. And it's all valid, you know what I'm saying? Because all their stories have value. So it's no different than Buffalo. Like, and there's plenty of other artists here who can give different perspectives too, and they will. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to give my perspective and tell you what it was like for me to, you know, be from Buffalo.
Yeah. I love it because it's like I wasn't out there I went to the Army. Yeah. Went to the Army, like, and came back. Like, yeah, I sold weed and shit like that, but like I ain't do no dumb shit. So you giving a perspective for me, and a perspective that I understand. It's like I'm watching all these people around me doing all this shit, and it's like I could have did the same things they did, but I was like, nah. And my mom was like, put a for rent sign on my door, and she was like, you got to get a job or go to college. I was like, I ain't going to college, and I ain't getting no damn job here. I was like, all right, I'll get a job. Came back the next day. I was like, I signed up for the Army. Mad as fuck. But that's why I love listening to your music, because I don't have to feel like, oh, I don't understand this, but I get where they're coming from and what they're talking about because I seen it.
Yeah.
But it's not like what I did, and it's still fire as fuck. But it's like good to hear someone come from your perspective and not have done shit like that, and be like that you could live in the hood and be from the hood and not have to fucking take those routes. So there's different routes to take. You could just be a regular person in the hood and just go through the motions living there and
100%.
just deal with it.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not even like this person that never got into anything and didn't do, you know what I'm saying? Because I had my periods in my life where, I was doing a bunch of stuff
Like
that
you
I ain't
said,
had no
you
business
dabbled
doing.
it in like Eckert's.
Yeah, there you go. Like, but that just
Dabbled in pharmaceuticals.
it just wasn't,
like
you know what I'm saying? It wasn't for me. You know what I mean? And it's nothing wrong with that, man. There's a lot of people, like you said, like, I think just in our culture, like we just have a super like infatuation with, the things that we don't do. Like those stories sound so cool, right? Like, Paid in Full is a crazy, or it's a crazy movie, crazy story. Yeah. Scarface is a crazy movie, crazy story, right?
And like that shit doesn't make you want to do that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't make you want to do it. It's just that we're infatuated with it. Cause
no. I'm saying, it, like as a kid, like I was yo, god damn, that shit looks fire.
Yeah.
And then as a kid, like seeing cousins and seeing cousins' boyfriends and seeing like people driving down the block, and like I'm like, damn, how they do that? And then you're getting older and you realize how they do it, but then you realize like, then you see what comes with it.
Yeah.
Like, you already see people in jail. And then I had a strict ass dad at home. Like, yo, my dad would have punched me in my mouth if I even made the wrong move.
Right.
But then when I moving to South Buffalo, I had my grandparents and my mom right there when my parents split up. So it's like you could really, I only did dumb bad shit like smoking weed and dumb shit like that. But there was no like, I would get caught. If I brought drugs home, get caught.
Yeah.
Because my mom's going through my bag every day.
Right.
Without even asking. Like, she's just going through it. She don't care about no privacy. Yeah. My dad would run through your shit like it was nothing.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, and then the other thing I think about, like, when, everything that you do, man, you gotta have to deal with certain other things, man. Like, like you were saying, like, all these decisions that we make, they all come with other things. Like, I always think about how, man, I prayed to be in this position, right? Like where I am now, to, really be in the game and, put my album out and go out in the world and go do shows, and that's all good. But, it's a lot that comes with that too. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't always know, it's just certain things that it comes with, right? Certain, like life adjustments and things like that, So when I think about the way that we think about like how cool, like, killing somebody sounds, like, oh, I'm gonna run down on them with the 30. It sound cool, you know what I'm saying?
Do it.
But imagine what happens like when you go through that, when you lose a loved one for real.
You lose a loved one, taking a life isn't even like,
it's not really cool at the end of the day, because how does that feel when you lose a loved one? You know what I'm saying? It's not something that where you like, oh shit, okay, he ran down with 30, it really killed my man.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a little deeper than that. Like, and that's what it comes with. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I look at it a little differently when I'm like creating. I want to be real. I want to give people something that's real, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, man. None of this other shit really matters. You know what I'm saying? Like the fake made up shit, the movies and, you know, some of the stuff that these different rappers talk about. Like, I can see if you really live that life, and I know people who have lived that life, and, you know, if you want to talk about it, that's cool, but I just would rather get an other perspective because we don't get it enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not enough of that out there. And some of the artists that do give that perspective and you know, that view, you know, they just not appreciated enough, man.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about Symmetry.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of my top favorite.
That's my man Chad favorite joint.
Yo, yeah, facts. Like it's like, yo, I can't even pick a fate. Like every song on that album is fire.
Yeah.
We seen the homie, shout out Sneak Vlog Vibe and Chandra.
Mm-hmm.
We seen the homie up on the video.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about filming the video and what it was like seeing someone play a younger you in a major video?
Yeah, you know, the video was fun. It was very fun. We shot it over like a period of 2 days. Shout out to Chandra. Shout out to Jalen and man, everybody who played a part in the video, because I had my nieces in there, all that. So it was real dope, man. It was a cool experience. Shout out to Lukman and 22 Reform. You know, Lukman always does his thing. And I've had my nephew, man, Jalen, he's played in another video. It was a video I did for 71 Custer. It was from my EP, Iroquois Pliskin. He played a younger version of me in that video. And it's funny because, you know, since I met him in like 2016, I always said, you know, I was gonna put him in, you know, some different videos and stuff like that because he looks like me. You know what I'm saying? And originally I wanted him to be in a few videos that I did or that I had, you know, I wanted to do for some projects that I had put out a few years ago, and it just didn't work out, didn't align up. And then so we did the 71 Custer video, and he did a real great job in that one. So I said, yo, once I shoot this Symmetry video, I already kind of had it in my head what I wanted it to look like. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna need you for this one too, you know? And you know, we came together, man, me and Lukman, we got the idea together, man, for the video. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. We did the video, part of it up at UB North. And it was just cool to be in there, man, and just, you know, watch him do his thing, man. And then, you know, like I said, having my nieces in the video, they came through. It was all just a lot of fun, man. And, you know, the song is, I feel like it's a fun song, but again, it speaks to my story. It's like a triumphant song, you know what I'm saying? But I'm giving you my story. I'm telling you about, you know, part of like, you know, some of the things that went on in my life.
Right.
And it's really, it's a dope song, man. You know what I mean? I think everybody that watches the video and hears the record, man, they love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even Conway, like the first time you heard it, like that was actually the first song that I made. When I, like, in that first session when we were down in New York City. And first time he heard it, like, when we pressed play, he was like, yo, I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to get a verse on that. And so, you know, when he did the verse on there, man, it was just like, for the longest time, like, I would tell Chad every day, like, I would text Chad every day, yo, we got to put this Symmetry joint out. We got to put this joint out. We got to put it out. And Chad kept telling me, like, yo, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. It's not time. And I'm talking about, because there was a point in time when Conway, when he did his verse, we were in New York at the time. It was probably 5, 6 in the morning, and he's standing up. There's a video of him that he put on his Instagram. He's standing up, and he's like got his eyes closed, like rapping. It's almost like he's rapping it in his sleep. And from the time when people saw that video, and this was in 2021, people saw that little trailer clip, and yo, it was like every day, anything I would post, anything Drumwork Music would post, anything that had to do with me that went on Conway's page, it was people in those comments every time. Yo, when are we getting Symmetry? When are we getting Symmetry? For 2 years. Can't make this up. And, you know, to finally like get that song out, get the video done, and, you know, have it, you know, have the impact that it's having, man. It's just super like, man, like let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm super excited and super happy that it's been, you know, again, received, like just the album as a whole, it's been received in the way that I intended it to be received. You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
Word.
That's a great feeling to know that like your hard work has paid off.
Right. 100%. Shout out to Trizzy Williams too. He put that joint together, man. The beat is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song.
So motivational.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You wake up in the morning, you're like driving into Buffalo, and you put that shit on the radio.
Nah, for real, man. For real. That's a fact.
That one.
You don't ever shut up about that.
That one, and then I've been playing
The Revolver, the first song on the album,
Yeah.
is fucking amazing.
Yep.
Oh, and Auntie Crystal one too's got a great beat to it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Thank you.
What inspired you talking about that, Mr. Green? See? What inspired you to sample J. Cole's Sideline Story for the new album?
So I didn't sample it. What I did was I took inspiration from his song, right?
Mm-hmm.
The actual beat, I think it's a different sample if I'm not mistaken. But what I did was, you know, because that's one of my favorite J. Cole joints, Sideline Story, from his first album. And, you know, he was telling his story. He was giving his perspective on his come up. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, for somebody like me, you know, back then when I first heard the record and then even, you know, going into now, it's just a joint that I like really respect and I really appreciate it because I was in that same position. You know what I'm saying? Or still am. You know what I mean? Like I'm still coming up in you know, in the game and all that. So, you know, I like when I heard the beat, it was reminiscent of that record. And so I said, yo, like I was almost like, it's just me paying homage, man, to one of my favorite records and one of my favorite artists in J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Because
shout out J. Cole.
That record is amazing. Yeah, shout out to Cole, man. It's an amazing record. And so I wanted to give my perspective and, you know, similar to like what I did with Burner Phone, I wanted to also at the same time just show like how like certain artists have directly influenced me. So I just wanted to show that influence through that record.
That's deep. I'm glad I'm asking these questions to get to
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's still another one on the way.
Yeah, because you did say that in our last interview.
Yep. I think at the time when we talked before, we were planning on. Well, I was planning on dropping that before Abolished Uncertainties, but then we kind of got things, you know, rolling with Abolished and ready to go, you know, to put that out, and it kind of changed up my plan. But yeah, there's another album coming for sure. And I just was in the studio earlier today. I started working on some new music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, it don't stop, man. Like I gotta just keep working. You know what I mean? I'm coming from ground level. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, like I'm building from ground level, but I'm erecting a skyscraper. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you just gotta keep it going, man. You know what I mean? And the influence that I get and the direction that I get from Conway, man, and just watching how he works, you know, he never stops. You know what I'm saying? Like even where he is now, you know what I mean? #1 album with Won't He Do It and, you know, on Billboard and everything. It's like, well, what's the next thing? You know what I'm saying?
#1 album.
Yeah, #1 album on iTunes, man. Shout out to Conway. You know what I'm saying?
That shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, and it's like you're all coming from Buffalo, and it's like, so you guys are all just like throwing them out there, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
and it's like it's like the season of Buffalo, like for sure. I feel like this whole summer is just gonna be filled.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
I think that was the plan, though. You know what I mean? Like when we got to the top of this year, like we knew what we already kind of had in the chamber. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew we had Pain Provided Profit. We knew we had Abolished Uncertainties. We knew we had Won't He Do It. We knew we had the Drumwork album. We knew we had, you know, Love the Genius, her album.
When's that
Drumwork
one drop?
Drumwork album is gonna be coming real soon, like real soon. You know what I'm saying?
Excited for that one.
You know, like I said, man, you know, we knew we had all these things loaded up and was just ready to go. And, you know, like I said, Conway's thing is like, shit, once you start applying pressure, you just got to keep beating down that door till you beat that joint all the way down and you can just walk through it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with it right now.
The Pain Provided Profit.
Yeah.
How long ago did y'all record that?
I want to say we did it because we did that
'Cause you
right
said
after
you
we
did it in,
came
like,
back
24 hours.
Yeah, we did it in like it was like 48 hours, no more than 48 hours. I think we did that right when we came back from over in Europe last year, the Love Will Get You Killed World Tour. Cause I think we did that in between the space of coming back from Europe and going to Canada. So yeah, we did that. It was like it had to be like April, like mid-April last year.
Okay. Yeah, that shit. Like, is it the intro where he said, the intro was like talking about like, why don't you smile? Like, why aren't you smiling?
No reason to smile.
Oh yeah, the Kobe
Yeah.
joint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's from
how
the
I,
Kobe
like,
interview.
And it's like, you guys are all really like that. Like from BSF to drum work to Griselda, it's wild. Like, no one seems to like, y'all not smiling. Like, it's like, the job's not done. The job's not done.
100%.
And when I was coming here, I was like, listening to the first song that played on my phone when I hit play. I'm like, this fucking destined. Jay's about to be there, and this fucking song comes on too.
Yeah.
The intro at that, like, the job's not done. It's like I'm up for an award this year for podcast of the year
Oh, word? Okay.
for the 716 Music Awards.
Dope, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's like I was smiling about it, but now it's like the job's not done.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta do more.
Yeah.
Like, the views gotta go up.
That's all it means, man. Like, I remember my man, he asked me, and I put this in a song too. He was like, yo, so what does it feel like now that you signed now? Like, yo, you've been working your whole life, to get your record deal, and you got your album about to come out. And I told him, I was like, yo, I had to work 10 times more once I got my record deal. Like, the record deal is cool, but I felt like I had so much I had to prove just by getting the deal. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like you got to put the work in and like let people know why you got the deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fact. Like you said, you're up for the award. You got nominated, but you got to take it a step further now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like, I got all happy, and then like, I was like, damn. Thought about it. It's like, it's cool, but that's not what I'm trying to do at all. Like, I'm trying to do way more. I'm trying to get like more eyes on these amazing artists and like actual artists and like everybody, like people painting, music, everything. Like, I'm trying to get the eyes here in Buffalo, like more views from out of Buffalo into Buffalo.
Yeah, 100%.
So that the eyes get put on here, because it's just beautiful.
Yeah. You gotta, and that's the thing, like with a lot of artists, man, in Buffalo, I feel like, that I've encountered and I've worked with and that I know, and this was even me. Like, the thing is, I want to be the man here, or I want to be the best here, or, I want to be known for my work here. And, Buffalo isn't the type of city where you can like live your life through your art here. You just can't. If we were this was LA or Atlanta or New York, where there's millions of people, it kind of makes more sense. But because we're not, you got to take it. You got to take your act on the road, man. Yeah. You got to get out of here and get those eyes on you. You got to get heard. You got to be seen. And, that's what kind of worked for me. Like, when I sell my merch and I'm selling my vinyls and CDs and tapes and things like that, like, and I've been like this for a few years now. A lot of my stuff I'm sending over to like Germany. I'm sending it up to Canada and Japan and stuff like that. I don't sell anything really in Buffalo. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But, a lot of my support comes from outside of Buffalo. Yep. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to keep in mind, man. No matter what you do, even if you're selling clothes or, you rap or sing, whatever, like, you just got to take your act on the road. Because, Buffalo is just the type of town where they'll support you later. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they will. But, you got to take it on the road, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's and there's a ton of talent here, too.
That's why I push all my stuff through my Army buddies.
Yep.
Because I just they'll support all day.
100%.
We have Jillian Hainsworth actually coming up next week. Can you talk about working with her on the album and how she linked up with you, or you linked up with her?
Yeah. Shout out to Jill. She's amazing. So what I did with her was, or how I met her. I'll tell that story. In 2019, I believe. I was working with a few artists. I was working with Alex and Nani, RGO Rain, and Live You Psalms, and my man Ricky. We were he's got a podcast as well, and we were working together doing these shows. It was called Cultured Sundays, and we were throwing these shows on Sundays. I want to say we did 5 or 6 of them here in the town. We had a few different venues that we used, and so one of the shows, I think Ricky had invited her out. His podcast, CVP podcast, that's what it's called. I was trying to think of it. Culture Visions podcast.
Okay.
But he invited her out along with a few other artists, and I met her that day when she came out, and I thought she was just super dope. And so I think we might have exchanged contact info, or maybe I followed her on the gram or Facebook. It was one or the other. And I was sitting in this. Actually, when I wrote Red Kool-Aid, I was sitting at home. My daughter was taking a bath, and I'm sitting there, whatever. She's doing what she's doing in the bathtub playing, and I'm sitting there listening to the beat, sitting on the toilet, just watching her do what she does. And that was I don't know what it was. I just found the flow, because that song has a really unique flow.
Right.
And when I was thinking about the song, because I knew it was going to be a shorter song, because originally I wanted it to be more like an interlude, and I ended up, I'm writing the verses or whatever, and I was sitting there. I'm like, yo, this is taking me to like, it reminded me of 2 things. It was crack music, but not so much because of the beat, but just the way I was like structuring the song in my head. And I was like, yo, I got to get a poet on here like how Ye did on, crack music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing. And then the second thing was, I was thinking of Lupe Fiasco, the Cool. I was thinking of how he opened up that album with, I forget what her name is. But
the poem.
With the poet, yeah. And,
I wanted.
That's a great song. I mean, Lupe is one of my favorites. But
I think that's like probably my number one kind of song. Like, is with rap and then a poem, or it starts with a poem and then they start spitting. Yeah. Like that's definitely.
It just
my
brings
favorite.
that different element, man.
Yeah.
But I was like trying to figure it out, and I was like, man, it would be dope if I could incorporate, somebody talking about, Buffalo, my experience in Buffalo, because originally, I had a different sequence for the album. So Red Kool-Aid was like the second or third last song, and it was going to go into Sideline Saga. So what I did was I hit Jillian up, and I was like, hey, I got this record. I want you to do your thing on. This is the song that follows it up. Check it out. So I sent her both songs, and I was like, yo, it would be dope if you could write something that's going to take it into the next song. You get what I'm saying? And she heard it. She was like, yo, I'll rock with it. Okay, cool. And then when I was going to go record Red Kool-Aid, I just had her pull up to the session. And so for a long time, I was playing it that way. I was like, when I would play the album, I was playing it with Red Kool-Aid and then Sideline Saga. It was going into Auntie Crystal. So that's why she's talking about some of the things that she talks about in the poem. Because originally it was going into Auntie Crystal. But then, I sat with Lucky. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense, right?
Listening to the beginning of Auntie Crystal, that makes sense.
There you go. And we sat with Lucky, and Luck, he A&R'd the project, or not A&R'd it. He sequenced the project.
Okay.
And he's just got an amazing ear for the, just how the tracks in order, like how they should go. And
that's crazy.
We sat there and we were listening to it. He was like, yo, this song should go here, this song should go there, boom, 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 boom. And then he said Red Kool-Aid, where it is in the album. And I'm like, yo, you sure, bro? Because I liked it here. And he was like, nah, I'm telling you, bro, it's gotta go right here. And so I sat with it for a while, and I didn't like it at first. I didn't like where it sat, because I felt like I needed Red Kool-Aid to go where it was, so that Auntie Crystal could come right after it. But one thing about me, and this is something that I had to learn, I don't always have the right answer. And for a long time, I didn't like trust people with certain things when it came to like my creativity and when it came to my music. Or I had to gain that trust with people. Like, you know what I mean? It's maybe one or two people that I really like, if they say something, I'll actually listen. You know what I mean? And that was like one of the times where I challenged myself to actually listen to what Lucky was saying, because I know Lucky is great at what he does.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, yo, okay. And I gave it a listen a few more times, and I'm like, yo, nah, this is actually crazy. I love this. Because with that poem and what she's talking about, it like sets the stage, I feel like, for the second part of the album. Mm-hmm. Well, majority of it. And
it's
then
like, it's like that's the side and the side A.
Yeah, kind of like that almost. Yep.
And then you go into side B, and it's like the curtain opens and it reaches, yo, fuck.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo,
so
yeah.
it kind of set the tone. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't need, like, I would have loved for Auntie Crystal to come right after it, but because I liked Lucky's ideas so much, it was like, nah, this makes a lot of sense. Shout out to Lucky 7.
Yeah. Shout out Lucky. Can't wait to have him on, man. Yo, that's crazy though. I didn't even know that like someone does the sequence too. I thought it was like,
yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, some artists, you know, they may do it themselves,
right.
And you know, there's other people who don't want anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna just make the music and y'all figure it out.
Right.
You know, but I'm very like, I'm super hands on. Like, Chad will tell you, if we're in the studio and I don't like a certain word, or if I don't like how, like, I'm very like detail oriented in the music. Like, there's a lot of engineers who will try to take out my breaths in between like certain words, or I might stop for a second so I can catch my breath and then go to the next bar, and they'll try and take it out. I need all that there. You know what I'm saying? Because I want my music to sound a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to feel unnatural. So I'm like very detail oriented in that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, I'm like I said, I'm very hands on. So,
is there okay?
You know.
So with that being said, is there like a favorite engineer that you've worked with so far?
You know, I got a lot of love for a lot of different engineers, man. It's a lot of like talented people definitely here in the town. And you know, it's a lot of different people, different engineers that I like. You know what I'm saying? Tony Boy did the mix and master on this project. Mm-hmm. He recorded, I think, like 80% of it. You know what I'm saying? And I worked with Ill Tone Beats. He did, I want to say he recorded like 2 or 3 of the songs, but Tone did the final mix and master on it. I think it sounds great.
Oh yeah. Top 5 kicks.
Top 5 kicks?
Yeah.
Of the moment? Of all time?
Ever. Yeah.
It always changes, man. It's pretty much always the same, but it always changes too, like 1 or 2 of them. So, I mean, Aqua 8s, Infrared 6s, Metallic 5s, those 3 are usually always in it. And then, let me see. I'm gonna put in there Lightning Low 17s, because I want those real bad right now. And Black Toe 14s.
Yeah, there's a lot that like, it's like you gotta either be famous, rich as fuck, or have the plug of all plugs to get some of these shoes.
Yeah, man.
Yo, because
it's tough.
I had to get a half size bigger for these.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Because I was like, yo, this is about to run out, like, in all sizes right now.
Yeah, man. You know, certain drops, you know, they sell out like that.
Those black and yellow joints, gone.
Oh, those 4s, yeah. They cleaned up on those. Those are actually nice too.
Yeah.
I had them a long time ago, like the
there
first
was a pair
time they dropped.
that came. I think there was another pair that came out last week. I think that were like gone. Internet everywhere gone.
Was it the white and green 3s?
Maybe.
Yeah, those were fire too. Actually, those are cool.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, because like I said, you literally made me back to my sneakerhead. Like, I was in the army. Anyone in the army, I'll tell you. You walk into my room, I got called. Listen, no offense to anyone in the LGBT community at all. Like, this was back in the day. My sergeant used to come in and be like, yo, are you gay? And be like, yo, what are you talking about? Because he's like, you have more sneakers than my wife. I'm like, 240 pairs ain't shit. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, but like now, there's probably so many people in the military with like that. And they're like, they don't even bat an eye. And I was like, damn, I was like the pioneer of that shit back in the day. Because I would be online. I'd be in Iraq, like sending my dad to my dad's house, shoe after shoe after shoe. Dubs, I'm like, oh, these Dub Zeros look fire. Yup, get those. Oh, these 4s look fire. Okay, these low ones, oh, fire.
Going crazy.
Like, my dad be like, yo, how much don't worry about it. Just put them in your closet. Don't let no one touch them. I'm just ordering. I had like 60 pairs of Nike Ones for no reason, all
crazy.
white.
Yeah, that was, I mean, Nike Ones, that was like one of my favorite, silhouettes, man, for a long time. Before I really started getting into Jordans for real. Like, I always liked them, but Nike Ones, and I say it actually on Auntie Crystal, I'm saying first pair of Nike Ones was in grade 6 from K-Shoya's over on Bailey. I know I made him sick. Like, I just loved that shoe. That was like the only shoe I was wearing for a long time. You know what I mean?
I still go back to them. I go and grab them for like summer trips.
Yeah,
like, right.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing like a fresh pair of all white ones. Low cut. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when all white Jordans.
I mean, all white Jordans is cool, but a pair of all white ones, you can't beat that.
Yeah, it's
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
That's like 07 all day. It's like, it takes you right back. Like,
Not for a fact.
I remember those days. I used to hit up the store right on Seneca.
Yeah.
Go right into Seneca, and I'd be like, oh, $50? Let me get 3 of those. Yeah. It'd be great times. Yo, the shit you used to be like able to go anywhere. $3. Now they're like $6 a t-shirt. I just went and grabbed one before coming here. They didn't have the orange one to match it at the fresh joint of the block. Crazy.
But joint's definitely clean, man.
Yeah. Damn, I fucked that question up totally. Fuck. The Jillian Hainsworth album.
Nah, she's just our next. She's like the next.
No, but I was supposed to say she was on the other album too.
Oh yeah, that was wild. She's on Cash's Green.
Yeah, she's on Cash's Green album. Yeah, because then it was crazy. That's crazy because I was in the at work yesterday and that joint just came on my phone too. And I'm just sitting there jamming, like, cause I add all these artists on my phone, and I just will hit play, and your song will come through. Like, people's songs will come through, like, just listening to like Drake and everyone. And I'm like, I'll go into my phone and be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Damn, they fucking spit on. Like, I was just like, yo, oh shit, this is the Cash's Green joint. This is fucking. And then she started going in on it, and I was like, girl.
Yeah, she give it up, man.
Just like,
Jillian is super
so
talented.
Powerful. Like, it like literally, like, it take that shit, like, has you sit back and it just like takes your shit away, like your breath, your whatever. Like, you just like feel like, damn, like what she just said is like hit so hard. Yeah. And makes you like really think. And like, if you're a conscious person about what's happening in this world, and you'll understand like where she's coming from and everything that she speaks. It's like, damn. And then like it makes you it made me want to go and literally just listen to her on beats, like, and just spit her shit, like, curate that shit, bro. Yeah. Drop that shit. That shit would be.
She's one of them.
I would sit there and just listen to that shit all day. Cause
she's one of them ones, man. She paints that picture.
Yeah.
And it's just, the words that she chooses to use. It makes that picture so clear in your head. You know what I mean? That's why, like I said, I heard her one time. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, I got to work with you in some form or fashion at some point.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I heard her on your album, and as soon as I did, I was like, I need to hear more. I need to know more. And then I went onto her page, then went onto her website, read about her, and I was like, damn, all right, okay.
Yeah, nah, she's fire.
This woman is fucking killing it right now. And then I read the poem that she wrote for Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to hear it. I want to hear her say it. Like, because me hearing, like, I can't hear her voice in my head. But I want to hear her speak those words instead of reading it. Because it was just like, yo, damn. Like, the way she just presents that shit and the way she presented it on your album. Now what I'm gonna have to do one day is fucking grab that song, and I'm gonna have to queue up Auntie Crystal after that, and then see like what Lucky's seen.
Yeah,
like I want to see if I could see what he's seen. Like, cause that's crazy that someone, like, because I feel like what comes up after it.
After Auntie Crystal is one of one.
No. After, fuck. I can't think right now. Help me out. After Red Kool-Aid? Yes, after Red Kool-Aid.
One of one.
One of one. I mean, yo, damn. Yeah.
What's going on in the intro of the Lunchroom song?
You said the intro of the Lunchroom song?
The intro.
So, what it is, it's
getting questions from.
It's like a skit that I found from, like, when I was making the album, I wanted certain transitions and skits. I didn't want it to just be like song. And so it's like a video that I found on YouTube, and there's these kids, they're in school at a lunch table, and he was like saying, oh, this is how I want it to go. Just a regular beat. And they're at the lunch table and he's making the beat. This is how I want it to sound. Come on, bro. And then they start rapping. But, I wanted it to introduce the song Lunch Table because that's technically the idea for the song. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's just like, yo, I can literally put it on play, listen to it, and let Spotify replay it and replay it.
Yeah.
And never get sick of it.
Yeah, thank you.
And the same with Paying for Profit too. Like, that shit was just like, yo, the way y'all just like, yo, the fact that I got, like, this is a big flex moment for me right here. The fact that after the last episode, you played the music that was gonna be on these albums for me, Derek, and Mr. Green.
Yeah.
Shout out Derek.
Yeah, shout out to Derek, man.
We miss you. The fucking, I'm listening to it and I'm like, I hear Bonneville. And I'm like, I heard this motherfucking song. Yo, and my girl's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, I heard this shit before it even came out. I feel special right now, motherfucker. 100%. She's like, what? I'm like, I feel fucking special. She's like, I'll let you feel that way then. And I'm just like, yo, this shit, just listen.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I do like this song.
Oh, that's dope.
And that's another thing. My lady even, like, because you're different and not talking about like the shit that everyone, she fucks with you too. And I'm like, damn, you like, she's like, yeah, like I got a text, I hope your episode's going amazing. And I'm
that's
like,
fire, man. Shout out to her, man.
I'm like,
Thank
hell
you.
yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. But yeah, is there anything you want everyone to know before,
Oh man, just keep streaming the album, man. Keep going crazy. And like I tell everybody, man, just continue to put people on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know somebody that likes hip hop, that rocks with, you know what I mean, the lyrics and just the movement here in Buffalo, period, man, just always, tell 5 people and tell those 5 people to tell 5 people, man, because, like I was saying, like, I'm building from ground level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, I need all the support I can get, you know what I'm saying, now that the album is officially out. And I just want to keep building on the success that I'm already having. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I want to leave it with, man. And thank you again, man, Spaced Out Pod, for having me, man. I appreciate y'all.
You.
Appreciate the platform. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna keep growing just like I am. So
yeah.
Keep doing your thing.
I appreciate you.
No doubt.
Where can they find you at?
You already know, man. Instagram, Twitter, at Jae Skeese, JaeSkeese, man. Tap in. Make sure you also tap in with Drumwork Music on the gram as well.
Facts. You can find me at where the fuck you can find me at. He'll put it here. I bet you he's not gonna put it there, but catch y'all on the flip side. I'm about to get high as a bird and go eat some pizza.